All right, good morning. Try this again. This is actually try number 5 for this silly video. Tried to do it yesterday and didn't have the mic on, so put up a silent video. uh, so yeah, actually this one's a good update. So uh, nausea was very limited. I'm now a weekend because it's Monday morning. uh, had a little bit of the bone aches, I would almost call them, but again, taking Zyrtec and the nausea medication. It's been pretty minor. Um, like I said, the brain fog or chemo brain, as I refer to it, is probably the worst. Where I'm talking and then I'll lose my train of thought. Um, but I think some of those things are good. I'm at a current low, 235. Again, my goal right now is not to lose any more weight, although I probably have 20, 25 more pounds of fat to lose. Uh, I'm going to be doing like 30% of the time I'm going to be fasting anyway. If I do a 5-day wraparound fast for each chemo session, my real concern is to try to get my blood glucose to a lower level than I think is actually really natural for me. Um, Again, and a lot of that is in these keto for cancer books, the Thomas Seyfried protocol, which they call the press pulse. Mentioned it before. Haven't been very successful. Last week was, Tuesday through Friday. I ate 3-to-1 keto. So that's 3 grams of protein for every gram, 3 grams of fat for every protein. That was a little chemo brain going in there, which means about 80 to 90% of your calories are coming from, maybe 80 to 85 are coming from fat. It's really not that enjoyable way to eat. Um, But they also call for up to a 30% calorie deficit on your uh, thing. So off your basal metabolic rate, so essentially how many calories you need per day, uh, plus exercise. Which the 12,000 steps, I assume I'm getting about 600 to 800 calories of exercise per day. But actually, what I really wanted to talk about is one. This is one podcast I really like. This one's for you, Joe. I call it the Dude Bros podcast, but it's for personal trainer, gym owners, the Mindpump podcast. I'll have a link to it in the description here. Really enjoy. Those guys really know their stuff on exercise. They have a bunch of workout programs, which we own. Um, but their podcast is a lot of fun. They actually had this one great riff that I always mention on how men should pee sitting down. And then they're like, well, what about at night when it's dark? I found it hilarious. So I really enjoy their podcast, but it has a lot of good information. To that end, in episode 2307, how to optimize brain waves to improve your focus, um, they mentioned this new app, Brain FM, which uses music to help you focus, help you sleep. They're trying to work it out for the workout. It's a really interesting episode. Strongly recommend it. And I'm gonna do a little experiment here. So my wife and I are into it. I think it's not $8 or $9 a month, or 70 if you pay all up front. So I'm gonna probably try that for the next year. Um, Again, these guys all were saying how effective it is. Uh, they go more into the detail. If you're interested, like I said, is put the exact episode um, in the uh, description here. And then the very next episode, because I use Dogcatcher for my podcast apps, and rolls right into the next one. I usually listen to them while I'm driving, commuting somewhere. Episode 2308, they had one section was interesting about how Viagra and Cialis, summary study, actually showed that it had the most effect for reducing all cause mortality, even compared to stents or any other blood pressure medication. If you don't know, uh, The Viagra was originally this is being studied to lower blood pressure. It's a vasodilator. Again, I'm not trying to sound like an authority because I am not a doctor or any kind of medical professional. This is just what I heard, and I thought it was super useful. So you should get the Cialis, make your wife happy, and you might actually reduce all-cause mortality. And I think they said so it acts as a vasodilator, uh, opens up your blood vessels, um, and that reduces your blood pressure a little bit, but seems to have a lot of uh, other good effects. So there you go. You can feel less guilty. um, oh, I did also hear about this. I haven't. So I've been sauning. That's one of my pride and joys. It was one of the upgrades we had during COVID. Is I bought a low entry level sauna. It's really like the IKEA version. Substantially cheaper um, than traditional sauna. The entry level our price point is like $5,000. This was $2,000. Of course, you had to run 220 volt. But so I've been sauning. I just found out about a sauna felt cap you wear, and they have them on Amazon. It's pretty awesome. One looks like a crown, so I might have to get one of those. I guess the idea is keeps your head cooler so you can stay in the sauna longer. But I'll probably talk about that more another time. Really just wanted to get this video out to everybody. Hope everyone's well. Take care.